Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. So I was talking to a friend. She's a lecturer. So she loves her job. She loves lecturing, but she hates her boss because the boss is trying to give her a hard time and blah blah, like, office politics and all that. But she's kind of like holding on because she feels like she has no choice, because other universities are not hiring and she can't get another place that's looking lah. So I mean, it was a long conversation, but it had me thinking, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit about doing what you love. So, what is doing what you love anyway? Right? I think that oftentimes people kind of pigeonhole themselves into a specific role or a specific interest, and sometimes they kind of like they lose track of why they're there. They lose track about what aspects of their job is the thing that they love in the first place. So, I mean, like back back in uni when I was basically like a full-time Magic player. I'm shuffling cards, by the way, because I miss playing Magic. When my dream job was to be a full-time professional Magic player. So like when I wanted to graduate, I was thinking, what am I gonna do, right? What job? And the thing that felt most obvious to me was advertising, because I like the overall aspects of the job, because I like to write copy, I like marketing as a whole, I like communicating, I like putting things out there, and it felt like the perfect job. But I never got into it, because as I was looking for my first job, I realized that I wanted like a higher paying first job, because that would be the benchmark for my following roles. So as like a career move, I decided to look for a job in a bank. So I basically applied to a bunch of banks, thinking that it's okay, I'll get into a bank first, and then with a higher salary I can leverage into a better position into what I really love, which is advertising. So long story short, I got into the bank, and I found out that they have like a centralized brand marketing and communications department, which handles the overall communication and branding for the whole group, right? And that's pretty crazy to me. So I got into that role, and I was doing stuff that I really wanted to do. I was doing ads. I was doing like billboards, press ads, and stuff like that. I was writing a lot of copy, and what's funny is that I actually got to initiate and initialize lots of the ads, because you're the client side, right? As opposed to if I was in advertising, I would essentially be doing ads for the clients. So it made me think that I was pretty lucky, because I got to do what I really wanted to do, but weirdly in a different career, in a different aspect which I didn't even think about at all. And I just stumbled into it. And, another time that I thought was pretty crazy that I stumbled into was when I had to move to Penang. So I essentially, when Min wanted to move to Penang to try on something new, I just quit my job and just served my notice immediately so that I can be with her over there. And as I was looking for something that would make sense for me career-wise, I got a job in an insurance company. And my role was to deal with the agency force, motivate them, talk to them about the career. I do like a lot of recruitment talks, I do a lot of product training. And from there, I learned about this completely new career, essentially because I was kind of forced to, right? It was my job scope, it was my role. I had to learn up as soon as possible, as fast as possible, and teach it to people. And through there, I found out about this whole new career. And after a while, after hearing so many things about it, I decided to give it a shot, and next thing you know, here I am. And if you told the old ICKY back in Monash that he was going to be working in a bank and he was going to sell insurance, I don't know, he would just flip. Like, he wouldn't believe you at all. Like, none of my friends would, like, I think people would just think it's crazy. But here I am right now, and I just stumbled into this, and I found there's so many things about what I do now that makes a lot of sense with my interests, right? So like I know that I like to meet a lot of people. I know that I like to solve problems. I know that I like to keep in touch and communicate, and somehow that kind of like fits in with my personality, and so I do it kind of naturally, I feel, even though it's not a role that I would have thought about typically. So that's why I think when it comes to doing what you love, I think that you can definitely find what you love in different aspects or different careers or different industries that you never even considered, because it could be a different thing about it, right? Just like I was saying just now, like for example the advertising thing or the marketing thing. If I was to like traditionally just think that okay, for this I have to work for advertising company because this is what they do, but then I was not thinking about how every single company needs to do marketing. Every single company essentially need to do some form of advertising to get the word out there, right? So I could have thought about which company that I want to do that for, but instead I just stumbled into it, right? So in terms of that interest or the aspects of things that you like, it doesn't have to necessarily be that specific career. So like in the case I said just now, like the lecturing thing, I know that what she really likes about it is she likes to educate. She likes to talk to people. So we talk about how it's not necessarily a university thing, right? Like you don't only teach people in universities. Companies need trainers all the time. Even teachers, like for schools, for kids, and all this private sector teaching. There's lots of that. You can be a educator in so many different things, and it doesn't have to be specifically lecturing. Just because you're doing a PhD doesn't mean that you have to be pigeonholed into a lecturing career. So I mean, it got her thinking. I don't know. I mean, she's trying to look around for different aspects of the whole teaching thing. So I don't know. I hope it works out for her. But for all of you out there, I mean, if you hate your job, or if you don't like what you're doing, or if you're wondering, is this the right thing for me, or if it just doesn't feel like a good fit, maybe just list down what you like about what you do, or list down the kind of stuff that you wanted out of your career. It could be anything, like it could be the progression, it could be the pay, it could be the communicating. Just kind of like list down everything you wanted out of that. And when you're looking around, just look at it in the broadest scale possible. Just look at just consider everything. Think about different industries, think about different roles that you never even considered, because you could potentially find those aspects of the things that you love in that. And it could be completely random. Just like for me, it was completely random, and I honestly can't think of doing anything else right now. It's just so crazy. Like I'm so hooked, and I actually work harder than I ever have. I work longer than I ever have, and it's like most of the time it's because I just love it. Like I do it all the time, right? So it's crazy, and I hope that people find that kind of clarity, or at least just stumble into the same things that makes them feel that passionate to wake up every day. Because now, like I wake up earlier than what I used to wake up for when I was going to work, right? Like I used to wake up 1 hour before going to work, and that's it. Then rush to work and be a little 5-10 minutes late. And now I'm 6:30 I'm up. 7 I'm up. I can't wait to go there. Let's just go to office 2 hours earlier. It's crazy, and that's what happens when you really love what you do. That's what happens when you really care about it. So I hope that everyone finds that for themselves. And if you're not there yet, it doesn't mean that it's too late. It's never too late to stumble into something new, because the things that you love right now, or you thought you love right now, are the things that you stumble into anyway, right? For example, I never thought that I would ever quit this game, right? I was playing Magic for the longest part of my life, and I still love the game. But when I was asked on what to sacrifice in order to live life, right? There's some things to sacrifice, or something's got to go. I never thought that I would put this aside. But now I haven't played for about 2 years, and it's kind of crazy. And of course, I always want to get back to it, but it just goes to show that it's an option. You know, stopping it for a while is an option. Doing something else is an option. Picking up another hobby is an option. Does it mean that I'm never gonna get back to that? No, it doesn't mean that. But it just means that nothing is permanent. You know, even with friendship, even with relationships, nothing is permanent. It's never too late to stumble into something new. That's about it. Sorry, didn't mean to be all philosophical and shit. But I wanted to share that because of how strongly she felt about that, you know. She really felt very trapped. So, yeah. No, I didn't play a few months ago, man. I was just like flipping cards around, you know. Alright, so you guys have a good week, have a good Monday. And yeah, see you soon. Good night.